Alright, let's try this again. This video is about why I started writing. There's a YouTuber, guy goes by President John. He's a moto vlogger. Don't know him, never met him, never emailed him. Have no idea what he looks like. But he had a video called Why I Started Writing. And he said some things that resonated with me. And at the end of his video, he said, I'd like for other YouTubers to do vlogs about why they started writing. So I wanted to do it anyway. There's no time better than the present. So here I am. Why I started writing. I wanted to write ever since I was a kid. I was about 8 years old, and my uncle, who's only a few years older than me, so he's more like a big brother, he got a motorcycle. And I was 8, so he was about 15, 16 maybe. And I got on the back of his bike, rode with him down the street, and he gave me the willies. It was kind of the equivalent to being on a roller coaster. So from that point, I knew I liked motorcycles. There was something I liked about that feeling of riding a motorcycle. And a few years later, when I was about, 12, 13 maybe, a buddy of mine had a 100cc bike, little bike. And that bike, he let me ride it, throughout the neighborhood. So, of course, me, being a 12 or 13-year-old boy, drove straight to a girl's house. And everything went fine. I don't know if she was impressed, but she talked with me for a little bit outside. And that was pretty cool. And then it was time for me to go, and the bike wouldn't start. I got a little bit down the street, and the bike just turned off. Don't really know what happened to this day. I don't know what happened with that bike. I just know that it just died. Fortunately for me, there was another rider. He just happened to be coming up the street. He checked some things out with the engine, and before you know it, I was rolling. I rolled it straight to my friend's house, a little embarrassed because I'd broken down outside of a girl who I was trying to impress, her house. So fast forward years after that, I'm with another buddy. And again, I'm riding his bike. This was years, way after I got out of the military and all that stuff. So I'm riding his bike, enjoying it, thinking, you know what? I'm going to sack up and I'm going to get a motorcycle. Well, about 4 days later, after that, my friend was dead. He had a motorcycle accident. And it hit me hard. And it made me feel bad. I still had my interest for having a bike. I just couldn't see within myself to get one at that time. So then I get married and finish college, help my wife with college, and we start our family, and the subject of me getting a bike just really never came up. So I scuttled it. I didn't tell my wife about it, how I felt. And then years after that, years, my kids are a lot older, and they can do a lot more for themselves. And I say, you know what? It's about time I get that bike. But I knew I wanted to do it the right way, and I knew I had to have a purpose for getting a bike. There's just nothing in getting a bike just so it can, ingratiate your garage. I just wasn't going to do it for that. And I thought, why do I want a bike? I mean, I know I really want one, but what am I going to do with one? And I thought, it could be my hobby. You have to keep the zest in life in a lot of different aspects. And getting a bike for me as a hobby, that helped kick the process off. From there, I started watching YouTube videos. And from those YouTube videos, I worked up the nerve. Where you at, buddy? I worked up the nerve to go to a dealership and just talk with them about it. I mean, you talk about starting the process off just basic. And that's what it was. So I go to the dealership, talk with a guy. Honestly, I ain't know how to turn a motorcycle on. It'd have been that long. And the guy was real patient with me. And one of the ladies at the front desk said, look, this is the number for the MSF course. I was like, MSF? What's MSF? So after she told me and gave me the information, I took the course. I was so excited, you know. They offer to let you use one of their helmets and some things, but I wanted all my own gear. Jacket, my own boots, my own gloves, my own helmet. And after I took that course, it was around my birthday. I was like, I'm going to get me a bike for my birthday. Went and got my starter bike. It was an R3. And that R3 was wonderful. I was so nervous. It was raining the day I bought it. I was like, I don't care if it's snowing. I'm riding that bike up out of here. So, and it was my birthday. So, on my birthday, I have a bike. Brand new bike. And I love that bike. Only thing is, that bike is kind of small for me. Now, an R3 has 321 cc's. I'm a nice sized guy. I look like somebody's dad sitting on his toddler's trike when I was on that bike. So I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to ride a bike in different sorts of weather. I'm going to learn this, I'm going to learn that. I'm just going to ride it. If you got it, ride it. So I did. And close to my next birthday, I got this bike. I ended up using it as a trade-in. My R3 as a trade-in. I have a ZX6R 636, 2019. It's not a KRT edition, but I like it. I like it. And it's heavier, it's bigger. I'll probably have a video in the future about what I thought about the R3. I really liked it. There was just some things about the bike that I just had to upgrade from. You know, nothing bad. I just had to upgrade from. So now I have this bike. I use it more for therapeutic reasons. With this bike, it's not like you're going to impress a bunch of girls. I mean, I'm married, so it's not like I'm looking for that. But to be honest with you, more guys have talked with me about this bike. You know, I was at a red light, and a guy tells me, man, I want to be like you when I grow up. I'm like, wow. What a thing for a man to say to another man, right? But I get it. Guys are fascinated by bikes. I mean, we could sit around and talk about it. The power in it, the thrust, how many cc's, the this, the that, how much it costs. But if you're trying to pick up girls with it, I don't know, man. So for all you guys looking to invest for that reason, you may want to invest your money in something else. Nice weight set, maybe, I don't know. But it's therapeutic, and I've learned to connect it to other things I'm doing. And I have done that. So it is a hobby. I'm having fun with it. And I've connected it with other hobbies in different ways. It forced me to be creative. It kind of forced me out of my comfort zone, my shell. And I really appreciate it. Plus, my family was on board with it. And that was big for me. You know, having my wife and the kids on board. I told them Daddy's always going to, drive full gear. And that no reckless behavior. But the full gear thing was big. So this thing is dangerous. but you have to be responsible, and you have to show your loved ones that you're being responsible, you know. I see a lot of YouTube videos where guys are doing wheelies on the freeway, and that's not me. That's not where I am in my life, you know, and that doesn't interest me. But if your interest is motorcycles, there's a lot of positive videos out there. SRK Cycles, Illustrator, that guy's just knowledge. Motonicity, Dan the Fireman, Rhino Dan. Let's see, MC Rider, you know. That kind of stuff interests me. So there's a lot of positivity out there. So if that's what you're interested in, you know, go ahead and just do it. If you're going to get a bike, man, ride it. If I had it to do all over again, I would do the same thing the same way. You got to build your confidence up. But I'll come out with a video for that. For the time being, if you just needed to hear some positivity, I hope my video here did that for you. I wish you well. And let me know what you guys think. I'm going to end this video coming out of this corner. That's kind of a safe thing to do for me to reach up on the center. You guys take care.